So, fed up with proposed pension and labor reforms, Greeks are once again walking off the job. Unions are holding their fifth general strike of the year, halting services and transport across the country and paralyzing the country's largest port in Piraeus near Athens. Well, Bloomberg's Nicole is following the strikes, and she joins us now live from the port of Piraeus. Now, Nicole, it's been a frustrating morning for tourists.
That's right. Now, this port is the main gateway from Athens to Greece's islands, or most of Greece's islands, places like Mykonos and Santorini. And this is supposed to be the height of the tourism season. But the port is absolutely paralyzed. We haven't seen a boat leave for several hours now. And earlier today, there was even some scuffles between protesters and police in which tourists got trapped in the middle. Protesters tried to storm a boat as it arrived in the port. Police intervened with tear gas and batons. And there were a number of quite scared and tourists who did get caught in the middle of that melee. Now, all of this is very bad for Greece's tourism industry. The Greek tourism season should be in full swing by now. The sun isn't shining on the industry this year. Strikes and protests against the government's austerity program are driving people away and causing headaches for those who do come.
All the flights were cancelled, so we had to get the red-eye special ferry last night from Santorini. Now we're trying to get a taxi to get to the airport, and we just want to get away from all this. We don't want to be around any of the demonstrations, or it doesn't feel very safe.
Here at the port of Piraeus, Athens' main hub to the islands, visitors have been caught in the middle of this country's economic turmoil. This morning, protesters tried to stop ferries from sailing, and in the confusion, tourists were tear-gassed by police. This isn't the first time the port has been targeted by demonstrators. Last week, a similar protest stranded thousands. Greek unions are holding their fifth general strike of the year today. That's on top of smaller protests nearly every day. Ioannis Dimou, a travel agent here, says the disruptions are killing local businesses.
One strike is okay, but rolling strikes, one after the other, they've done major damage to the economy, to the port of Piraeus.
The turmoil is bad for Greece's efforts to balance its state budget. Tourism accounts for 16% of GDP and employs 1 in 5 workers. Nearly 20,000 hotel nights were cancelled after riots in May. But Greek unions say they'll keep fighting.
Tourists are welcome here and necessary. Development of the country is also welcome and necessary because it creates jobs and it makes wealth so we can all have more money. But with these measures, the crisis will be worse and the problem also will be bigger because the workers will be eliminated.
No one here expects the turmoil to end anytime soon. But Greeks are still hoping their unique treasures and lower prices will convince visitors to overlook the hassles. Now, of course, it's not just tourists who are being affected by today's general strike. Across the city, transportation has come to a standstill in certain areas, and also key government services like hospitals and courts are not operating as normal. Now, unions say that they know this is disruptive, they know it's damaging to the tourism industry, but they have no option to fight. They say the damage these austerity programs are doing to the workers are really so enormous that they have no option.